a story in my mind, or a memory that I remember, and I was very, very nervous. I remember being very ill still at Royal London Hospital, and I remember the day that my nieces and nephews came in, and my eldest niece I was really worried about, because she was around 9 or 10, and she was the oldest, and I thought, she knows that this is real, she knows what's happened. And I remember she walked into the room, and obviously I was so worried about what she'd think of my body image. I had half a body, basically. I was looking down at half my body, on how she was going to react to that. And she obviously didn't say anything at all. And it wasn't until years later that I was researching for my book, Unbroken, that I had a conversation with her. And I said, Alicia, how did you feel after coming in and seeing me like that? What did you think of my legs? Was it shocking? And she said, Auntie Martine, I didn't even look at your legs. She said, I looked straight into your eyes and your face, and I knew that you were still Auntie Martine. And I think that just literally illustrates how we, as parents, as carers, as aunties, as whatever, we're worried about how our children take news like this, takes bad news. But I think because we do live in this 21st century world, and they are exposed to so much now, whether that has been the last couple of years that we've been through with the pandemic, or whether that's what's going on with the Ukraine at the moment, the images they see, I think this is the right time to talk about it. And actually, I think we worry about it more than what children do.
And you're a mum now yourself, of course. I mean, 7/7 was 17 years ago, but now you've got a 12-year-old, and I can hear the passion in your voice when you're talking about this. And isn't it interesting that something so ghastly has led you to do something so positive?
We will all go through good and bad times in life, because that is life. And it's the way that we deal with it. That is the most important thing. So we will all go through good and bad times of our life. There is a turning point that sometimes you're faced with. And my turning point came actually very early on. And my turning point came on the day that I realised how many people died at 7/7. I had no idea that 52 people had died. For me, that was the day that I said, you've got two choices. You can sit there and you keep asking that question. That answer questions, why me? Why me? Or you get on with it and you make the best of it.
I'm conscious there'll be loads of people watching you, Martine, who are, maybe they've become disabled, maybe they're ill, maybe they feel really uncomfortable about having those conversations with children, or worried about the impact. Where would you start?
Well, first of all, I'd say, number one, look at the stats. So the stats are, all of us, 90% of us, want to talk to our children about disability, about bereavement. But, a lot of us are scared, and a lot of us avoid that conversation. But we know that nearly 60% of children that have had that experience with their parents or their main carer, that a lot of them obviously have mental health issues, and a lot of them have PTSD. So I don't think we can get away from this. I think this is the time to talk about it. And I suppose, I know that there's going to be people listening to this today who are going through their own personal journey. And I suppose what I would say is, it's not all up. It's not all up the mountain. It's lots of ups and downs. But what we need to realise is that those ups and downs really do add up. And we can't get through to the next chapter of our life unless we go through those ups and downs.
Martine Wright, it's been an absolute joy and a privilege to talk to you. You are an inspiration. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you ever so much, Sian. Always lovely.